Actually, I want to use this project to show you guys how you can connect Tone Wallet to your Telegram mini apps. So let me just open up that project right here. So I do have a code load right here that I want to open. And if I hit on start, let me just open the project and let's hit on where it says open app. All right, so this is basically the project that I'm working on right now, and I want to find a way to add a button right here where the users of the mini app can actually tap on, and then it will open up all of the Tone wallets that they have on their phone, and they can hit on connect wallet, and the wallet is actually going to be connected. Okay, so that's just basically what I want to do. And what I want to do right now, if I let me claim this right here and then start another mining. Right, so it's mining right now, and so that's just what it's going to be. Without wasting much time, let's just get into our development environment and then see how we can actually put this together. It's really very simple. And if you basically want to maybe learn how to build this entire thing that we have in here, this mini app that you're seeing on the screen, I do have an ongoing class that you can actually join if you want to do. If you want to join that, maybe it's actually going to cost something like $50 or something of that nature to join. So let's get on to our computer and then see how we can actually build this. Add the button right here and then add the functionality to being able to connect your wallet. Now the Telegram mini app you just saw looks like this on my desktop. Okay, and we're going to look for a way to add the button maybe between this particular place so that people can actually hit on the connect button and be able to connect their wallet. And of course, if you take a look in here, you are going to see that the Telegram username right here is something like NA, and that is because I do not actually have Telegram on my system, and I'm basically using this as my username. So without wasting much time, I want us to, like, first of all, want to go to the documentation for the wallet integration. So you can actually come to this place where it says docs.tone.org development, develop /dapps, and I will have this Tone connection integration right here. And you will see this particular documentation right here. So you can take your time to read through the documentation in here. And I'm going to utilize the JS part of it. Okay, so this is the JavaScript SDK that I want to use. And there are still some other ones like the Vue, even Node.js, and some other technologies that you can possibly use within this particular page. Okay, so but I'm going to just basically stick to the JS for this particular tutorial. Okay, so right here, this is an example of how you can actually basically connect to the wallet. Okay, if you want to do that, you can use that right there. And if you connect correctly, you're basically going to see something of this nature in your console, and that's just a kind of a designate the successful connection or something of that nature. All right, so just take your time to go through all of these things, and then you're going to see that you'll be able to follow the connection just fine. So if you want to connect without a manifest file, you can actually do that right here. All right, so without wasting more time, I want to go to my development environment, and right here, this is the head region of my application, but this is basically the index right here. Okay, so and then I'm actually connected to the includes folder right here. I'm hitting on the head region, and the reason why I'm showing you this is because I want to first of all connect to the JS library first of all. Okay, so to do that is very, very simple. If we go back to our right here, I want to copy this particular link right here. Is actually very important. So first of all, you need to connect to the source. Okay, so that's just the first thing you want to do. I want to be sure that you are connected to this particular library, and I want to copy that. And if I go back to my development environment, I want to go to the head region of my application and then try to stick that right there. Okay, so I want to put that maybe down here. Let's make sure get that copied and pasted into this. So this is it right here. So I'm just basically connected to the JS library right now, and now I can actually use whatever code that I'm actually required to use to be able to interact with the library. All right, so to do that, I want to save the changes in this page right now and then go back to my index. And what do I basically want to do on my index? If I go back to maybe down here, I can throw in my JS script right here. I can just say something like script, and then try to close out the script down here. So this is going to be script, and with that, we can within this particular place begin to type out the code that is actually going to help us to connect to the JavaScript button, the UI. So I want to put a comment here and just say to connect. And what I want to do first, if I want to create a variable right here, I'm going to just this is going to be Tone connect UI, and I want to go ahead and set that to this new Tone connect UI object. Okay, so for that, I'm going to just say new, and I'm going to just do TON underscore connect UI underscore Tone UI. All right, so that's just basically what that is actually going to be. And what I want to do, if I could throw in my curly brackets in here, of course, I want to terminate this particular line first of all, so I don't forget it. So the first thing I'm basically going to need, right, I think there's a mistake in here. So this should be underscore UI. So this should be tone underscore connect underscore UI underscore tone connect UI. So the first thing, or the first parameter I'm going to actually need right here is going to be for me to define my manifest UI. Okay, the URL of the manifest. So I'm going to just say define the manifest. So this is going to be manifest URL of your maybe connection or your UI, whatever you want to call that in there. So down here, for me to define that, I'm going to just basically say within this particular place, this is going to be manifest URL, and I'm going to just throw in my colons right here, and I'm going to go ahead and then define the URL, right? And in the case of what we're basically doing right here, and this particular website right here is actually hosted online, and I want to just basically try to show you guys that online. Okay, so I want to show you the web version of it. So this is going to be family. So let's type that correct. This is going to be family tree, and I have it in a folder that is actually called a mega like this. Okay, so this is the online version of this. Okay, what I've actually shown you right here, this is what it is on the internet. So I'm going to need this particular URL to be added to that particular place. So if I go back in here, and I'm going to see that the first thing I'm going to need is actually to make sure that I kind of designate the URL right here. And if I actually designate the URL, remember that this is just a folder, right? A subfolder. If you have your mini app to actually be located in the root directory of your web application, you can actually stop at this particular point, okay? And make sure that the URL that you're actually going to use right here is the one that belongs to you. Okay, this particular one you're seeing right here is my own, so you do not actually have access to this. So make sure you put your own domain right here. Just put your domain within this particular place, and then whatever that you're actually going to need next. So we are going to actually need a file, a JSON file at a later time. So that particular JSON file is actually going to be embedded on this particular link right here. So the file is actually, it has a special name. It's actually called a tone connect dash manifest dash JSON. So that's just basically the special file you need to create. Okay, and for that reason, I'm going to copy this particular file name right here, which is tone connect dash manifest.json, and I want to create a new file within our working environment right here. So if I hit on in here, and I want to go ahead and then create that particular file, so I'm going to just paste that and then open that up, and this is just basically the file. Okay, so remember to save the changes in this page, and then within this particular place we're going to need a couple of things. In fact, if I go back to the documentation right here, and let's go to right here where they say something like creating manifest.json file, and look at the URL right here. You can go there and then see things for yourself, right? But within this particular place we're going to need this particular file. Look at the file name right here. That's just what I just created right now, and then this is the format that it needs. Okay, we are going to basically need three things in here. So this is the three things you are going to need. You need to have your URL, the app URL. In our own case, is actually going to be what I've actually already shown you right here. So we're going to need this first of all, and then after that, if we go back to this documentation right here, we're also going to need an app name right here. And then after that, we're going to need what is called the icon URL, which is basically maybe the logo of your app that you're actually going to put in here. So the rest of the things right here are actually optional. Okay, you can even add something like description if you want to do that, right? So you can do that. If you take a look down here, you see a complete example for that. So what I want to do, I think I want to let me just copy this, and then if I go back to my development environment, I want to go ahead and stick that right here, and I need to change this URL right here. So if I go back in here, where is it? I think right here. So I want to copy this, and then if we go back to the development environment, I want to make sure that I use this right here. All right, so this is the URL, the app URL that I need. Then the name right here, you want to change it to the name of your app. So I'm going to just basically call this something like Megari. So let's call that Megari. Okay, so just go ahead and enter your own app name right here, and then after that, the icon URL is just basically going to be the logo. And however, I'm going to need the root of my domain. This is it right here, and I'm going to need that. Then I want to make sure that I replace this with that. All right, so make sure that this is just a single /, and then this particular thing right here, if I go back to, I think I want to show you that particular icon, the one that I already uploaded to my server. And where is it? Right here. So I don't think I have okay, I do have an image right here. So this is an image that I already have. If I hit on view, and I think okay, maybe it's not actually possible to display images on the server like that. Okay, so I thought it's actually possible, but what I basically want to let you guys know is the URL leading to that particular image right there. Okay, so I want to be sure that I kind of include this particular image, then be just simply an image. Okay, so look at it right here. It's actually called a codekinder.png. Okay, so I wanted to see whether that, okay, it's even displayed. Look at the image that I'm talking about right here. So I want to make sure that I include the URL to that image in here. Okay, so I want to copy this, and then if I go back to my development environment and I want to change what we'll have in here, the file name, to codekinder. So if you go to this particular URL on your browser, you should be able to see that particular image. Okay, so if I copy this and let me just go to a new tab and then paste this, let me see whether I'm going to see that. All right, so this is the image I want to basically include in that place, and that's really simple, right? All right, so we do have our manifest.json actually created. That's tone connect dash manifest.json, and that is just all that we need on that particular place. So we can save the changes and then go back to our index right here and then begin to work on. All right, so we do have our URL defined right here, and I'm going to introduce a command there. And the next thing that we basically need is actually going to be something like a button that people can actually click and then be able to like connect or trigger the script that is actually going to help us be able to connect to our wallet. And we do not actually have that right here. Okay, so to do that, we're going to just do button, and this is going to be a button ID, and I think you just basically it's called a button root ID, and then we can throw in our, what is it called, our colon right there, and then within this particular place we need to go ahead and then include the ID to that particular button right there. Okay, which I haven't actually created, but maybe we're going to actually call it something like tone connect, and this is just basically the ID that we are going to actually use, and then we need to really create this ID within this particular place called the index, because this is actually the page where we are going to actually try to like connect people to connect people's wallet to our website. All right, so to do that, let's put that down here. I'm going to just put a comment first of all. This is going to be let's do this. This is going to be connect wallet button right here, and to do that, we just basically let's use div, and we're going to just give that an ID, and that's just basically going to be the ID that we just coded within our scripts. So I'm going to paste that right there, and then we can go ahead and then terminate this. Okay, we don't need to enter any other thing in here right here. So this is going to be div, and we'll have that closed down here. Okay, so that is just basically what that is right now, and we can save the changes in here, and I think that's just all we need for now. With what we have just done so far, I think it will be possible for us to see the connect button within our web page. Okay, so if we go back to our browser right here, and if we go to the local file, I want to refresh this page first of all to see whether we can actually find that button within this page, and it seems like I'm not really seeing that button right here, and I'm thinking that the reason for that is because I'm actually offline doing this, and this is actually going to use something like it's going to need something like HTTPS, right? So we need to re-upload this to the internet before we can actually test. We should be able to test that through this particular URL that is on that is online. All right, and again, I want to like talk to you guys about something in here. So if you take a look up here, you're going to see that I do have something like a VPN that is actually on. Okay, so for some reasons, all of the what is it called, the URLs to our tone is actually not opening on my computer. And I'm actually doing this from Nigeria. Okay, so maybe they have issues with displaying their websites in Nigeria. Maybe it's blacklisted or something of that nature. Okay, so if you live in a country where you are actually finding it difficult to access all this tone documentation or to access their website, you should feel free to like maybe use something like a VPN to be able to do that. Okay, so I'm connected to a VPN right here, and so that's just that. So what I want to do, let's go ahead and upload those two files that we just created. So to do that, go to the root directory of our website, and I do have Megari folder opened right here, and I want to like re-upload the index of my file and as well as the manifest file that we just created right now. So to do that, if I hit on upload, and the first one I want to upload is going to be the index. So this is Megari, and I'm going to hit on index. Let's hit on open, and I'm going to just say yes, and that has been uploaded. So the next one I want to upload is going to be the manifest file, which is right here, to connect manifest.json, and let's hit on open, and that has been uploaded, right? So I think that's all we need for now. So if we go to the online version and we want to refresh to see whether it's actually going to display that button or not, and it seems like it still did not actually display right here. So why is that? So let me just check our console right here. So if I go to F12 and I want to be sure that I checked it, okay? So if you take a look in here, see that uncut reference, and this is just actually coming from tone connect UI, and they're saying that that is actually not defined, and we need to find out why that is not actually defined. All right. I think I've actually kind of seen what the error is, guys. So even if we try it with this one where we have VPN, it's still gonna be having that kind of same problem. So if I go in here and then I paste this right here, it's still gonna actually be displaying the same error. And even if we use the web version of it, it's still gonna be giving the same error. And I think if you take a look in here, I think it's actually not getting this particular thing in here. This particular object is actually not getting that from that of the tone. And I think that the problem is actually coming from if we go to, okay, number one, we haven't actually uploaded our header first of all. But then within our index right here, I think this particular place shouldn't actually be an underscore. So it should be a dot right here. So what we should have in here is a dot. And what we're going to do right now is that we just basically need to re-upload this page to our, what is it called? To our server first of all. If we re-upload that, and we also need to re-upload this because we haven't actually re-uploaded this yet. So let's try that right now. So if I go back to the development environment, I'm in my server, and I want to re-upload the index first of all. So this is going to be index. Let's re-upload that. Let's hit on yes, and it has been re-uploaded. So the next one we want to work on is actually going to be for us to re-upload the header right here, which is this particular file right here. And this is basically where we are trying to connect to the what is it called, the library, right? We want to connect to this library. So I want to re-upload the header right here. So if we hit on upload, and then let's go ahead and then open that up and then re-upload the header right here. Let's hit on yes, and that has been re-uploaded. So even if we try that offline, from here we should be able to like successfully connect. So if we check, our console is free right now, and let's refresh here to see whether that is actually going to come up, and we still couldn't actually see that. Okay, let me try that on the next browser again, which is right here. Okay, we already have it in here, and we still have that error right here. Okay, so all right, so I want us to change this URL right here. I want to take away this default right here. So let me just copy and paste this particular one. So it's almost basically the same thing, but I just took away that default attribute in here. Okay, so I don't want this. I don't know what that is actually doing there. So if we save the changes right here, and for what is it called right here, this is how our connection through the UI is actually looking right now. So we have changed the underscore that we had in here earlier to a dot, and we're just going to say turn connect UI, and we're basically setting the URL to the manifest URL right here, and then we do have the root right here, which is basically an ID that we have actually created within this page where we want the button to display, so which is this particular place. Okay, so what I want to do is let's refresh first of all this particular page, and we should be able, and congratulations guys, so look at the button loading right here. So that's just basically what we've been looking for, and that button is actually going to load right here. All we need to do right now is to re-upload this to the internet so that we can actually use that from the internet, right? That is the button right there. And even if we check that from the next browser, this particular one, I want to refresh this page, it's still going to be able to display that button right here. All right, so and then we can actually hit on it, and it's basically going to try to attempt to open up the Tone wallet that we have, and we can actually try to connect to them. Okay, and that is just that. So what I want to do right now is, so if I hit on connect, and I think I have the extension in this, and you're gonna basically this won't actually connect, so there's no need actually wasting so much time in here because I do not actually have what is it called, I did not actually have this registered within this particular computer right here. But what I want us to do is really very simple, because even if we connect right now, we do not actually have a way of displaying that. And if we go back, I really want to re-upload a few things in here. The first one is actually going to be the index. So let's go to the index right here and then re-upload the file. And then after that, we want to let's go to, if we go back one more level, we want to open up the includes and then re-upload the latest that we have to that of the header right here. So to do that, we go to upload, hit on select file, and then open up includes, then we upload the header right here and then hit on yes. And with this, it means that we can basically, if we open up our mirrored phone right here, and let's try to let us attempt to within our mirrored phone right here. So with our mirrored phone right here, if we open up code load right here, and let's try to, what I'm going to do right now is I want to, okay, if I hit on open button right here, I want to be sure that it kind of opens up. And then if you take a look here, you see that the button is actually loading right here. All right, so you see that it kind of opens, and then we do have the button that says a connect wallet right here. So let's tap on that where it says connect wallet right here. I want to tap on it, and it attempts to bring up these things that we have in here. So I want to connect my Tone wallet right here. So I want to hit on that, and it's going to try to open that up. All right, so this is the DApp connection right here. And if you take a look at that, we are going to basically see the name that we typed in our manifest file and even the URL to this particular mini app. So I want to show you that once more. So if we go to our mini app right here, that name is actually showing here. And then the root URL to that particular thing that we have in here is actually showing, okay? So forget about the folder right here, okay? But the root URL to that particular thing or your mini app is actually going to also display. So that's just basically what you are seeing on this interface, okay? And then you can hit on the connect button right here to connect. So I want to hit on connect button and say connect, and it's going to attempt to actually connect, but I don't think connection is actually going to go through. Let's check to see whether it's actually going to go through. And it seems like that's connected just fine. So if you take a look in here, you're going to see that the wallet has actually been connected. However, that is a couple of other things we need to do. And let's go back to our development environment and see how we can actually do this. So let me clean my stuff right here and then start another mining. So while that is actually going on, let's go back to our development environment. And I want to do that on my index page. So if I scroll down to where we have our JS down here, and I want to do a couple more things down here, wallet connection right there, and to also use the opportunity to be able to check if our connection was actually successful or not. We can do that right here. I want to copy and paste the code that is actually going to help us do that right here. And then I'm going to just basically explain that. So I'm just basically creating a function right here, which I kind of named the wallet connect. A connect to wallet right here. And I'm going to be using a synchronous function in here. And I'm using something like a try and catch to actually check whether that connection was actually true. So if the connection was actually true right here, we can go ahead and echo out a message right here, or it kind of send a message to the user right here on the screen to tell them that that connection was actually correct. Okay, I'm using a console.log in here because I'm still in development mode. But if you're on a live mode, you should just go ahead and then try to output a message for them right here. Okay, so that is just that on that line. And then down here, if we have any errors, you want to go ahead and then console log the error, and then you want to like print out error connecting to the wallet, and you want to show them what the error is particularly. Okay, so you can show a friendly message down here if you want to do that, and that is just that. Okay, so I'm going to just save these changes right now, and I need to re-upload the index right here. And that's just all on how to basically connect your wallet to your Telegram mini apps. Okay, and to do that, let's go back to in here, and I want to go to the section where we're uploading our files. Let's close this out, and within this interface we should be able to upload to the root directory. So I want to open this up and then re-upload the index right here. So let's hit on index, open that up, and let's hit on yes, and that has been re-uploaded. So that's just basically what we need. Let's test this one more time. So if we go to our mirrored phone right here, and I want to open that up. So what I want to do right now, let me just I want to disconnect and then try to connect again. So let's hit maybe this time around I'm going to use something like Tone Hub to connect. Select Tone Hub. All right, so if you take a look here, you say familytrade.ng request to connect to your wallet account, and if you want to do that, you can go ahead and hit on connect. So I want to hit on connect down here, and I need to just basically enter my code right here to verify that. All right, so if you take a look here, it says wallet connected successfully, and that is just that, right? All right, so the connection was just fine. So take a look at my Tone Hub wallet right here, and if you want to verify, let me show you that. If you open up my Tone Hub, where is my Tone Hub right here? So I'm looking for my Tone Hub. Okay, look at my Tone Hub right here. I want to open that up, and I want to compare the code. Look at the address right here. So right here, you see that what you're seeing right here is actually basically the same thing with what we just saw within that particular app. Okay, so it's just basically the same thing. So if we go back in here, you see that this ended with AYKF, and if we go back to my Tone Hub, see that it's also ended with AYKF right there. Okay, so the same thing applies to if we maybe disconnect right now. I want to disconnect this and then try to reconnect maybe my Tone wallet, this particular one right here. So I do not actually have Tonekeeper, so I wouldn't be able to connect my Tonekeeper right here. So let's hit on connect with this and then connect right here. All right, so the connection works just fine. So this it kind of started with UQBT right here. And if I try to open up my Tone wallet right here, which is this app, and you're going to see that it's actually basically the same thing right here. Okay, so take a look at this place. You see that it's actually UKBTJT right here. So it's just basically the same thing that we also have within this particular interface right here. All right, guys, so this is just right about the end of the video, and I believe that you guys like the video. And then if you love that, just feel free to hit the like button, and if you want to subscribe, that's just fine. And if not, still okay. And I think I will just basically see you in the next one, maybe when we'll be working on a transaction. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Bye bye for now.